Good morning. I'm here setting up for my BB Strong class, my first myofascial release class today, and nobody showed up. So I decided to go live for you guys and give you a little taste of what it would be like to do that practice with me. And I figure I'll do a little bit of the myofascial release, and then I'm going to kind of give you a little taste of what my practice looks like in the morning. So we'll spend a little time together, hopefully about 45 minutes here. So for the myofascial release work, we need to use either 2 tennis balls, which they can slip out of your hands, so be careful. I have these yoga tune-up balls. I think that they're helpful because they have a good grip to them, but you could always use 2 tennis balls and a sock. But when you buy the myofascial release balls, you'll see that they usually come with this little bag, and then you can pop them in there, okay? So I'm going to start with just 1 ball this morning, and we're going to start with the feet. So what's really neat about working with the fascia is that we're able to kind of work all these different myofascial lines in the body. And so we have ultimately this back line that starts from the bottom of the foot, goes through the plantar fascia of the foot, through the back of the heel, calf muscle, hamstring, low back, through the spine, neck, head, and up to the eyebrow, okay? Then we have the front line, which is there's 2 pieces to it. The superficial front line kind of starts from the front of the toes, up through the shin, over the knees, over the quads, and ends right in here by the hips. And then we have the second line, which starts kind of from the pubic bone, up through the center of the belly, throughout the ribs, and up into the collarbone, and then up into the neck, these SCM muscles, these large muscles here in the neck. We also have lateral lines, which are going to come kind of from these fibrous tendons in the bottom of the foot. If you flex your foot, you can kind of feel those tendons. And then even on the side of the leg, you can continue to feel how that kind of comes up through. And through that, it comes through the side leg. And these are really stability muscles. These side TFL muscles are really for stability. And you'll feel how it kind of keeps us from wobbling side to side when we're walking. And then it comes through and kind of almost cross patterns through your side body, okay, and comes up through and kind of skips the shoulder and then comes up again through kind of these 2 muscles in the neck, the SCM, and then also this, the other muscles kind of coming up through the neck and head. And so the spiral lines are kind of movements that help us with spiral motions. And these motions we won't work with as much today, but I really just kind of want to work with the front, the back, and then also we'll get in some good work for the hands, feet, and neck today. So we're really going to get quite a bit done. If you want to join me, I'd be happy to have you join along, okay? So you're going to take 1 ball and place it down onto the floor. And what I want you to do is just start to step on it. I'm just kind of stepping into the ball. This is very helpful for kind of preventing plantar fasciitis if you have issues with that. Depending on the shoes you wear throughout the day, this might make a difference in how that feels for you. And you can also do it when you're having pain or strain, but you're just going to be very gentle on yourself. The thing about myofascial release is you will feel a little bit of tension, even a little bit of pain perhaps, depending on your level of pain tolerance. It may feel painful to you, and especially as we hit certain areas that speak louder than others, you're really going to feel that kind of kickback in the body where it tells you, wow, that's really a spot that's sore. And in myofascial release, we actually want to kind of move into that a little bit and feel and press into that a little bit. And as we just kind of step into the ball, we're waking up those proprioceptors and mechanoreceptors and all that good stuff here in the feet to help with our balance and coordination and even just upright posture, okay? So stepping for just a few more moments on 1 foot and just feeling into the feet. Just take some deep breaths as we go along here. Be mindful of your breathing and just take a couple of moments to breathe all the way down to the lowest part of your lungs. Right now we're just going to kind of roll the ball back and forth. And if you feel unstable, you can lean against a wall here or a chair. You can even do this sitting in a chair if that's helpful for you. We're going to get kind of all the way through the center of the foot to the heel, the inside, and the outside. Breathing. You might even go across the center, that transverse arch in the foot, back and forth a little bit. So what this does is it helps to loosen that whole back line, your feet, your ankle, okay, your heel, your Achilles tendon, your calf muscle, hamstrings, your low back and spine. And when I do this, I tend to feel it in my neck and all the way up even into my head. So as you do this, you might just kind of visualize that and notice and feel that for yourself. Okay, a few more moments here, just kind of rolling side to side, back and forth. The back of the heel. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grip the ball with the toes. So it's almost like you're squeezing on that ball with just the little toes. So let the big toe kind of hang off. You're going to squeeze and release. Inhale, perhaps exhale as you squeeze. It can help you to remember to breathe. Do that a few more times. Just notice what shows up for you as you do this. And if you get any cramping, you can always pause. If you have pain to the point where it feels uncomfortable, you can always pause, take a break, and resume when you feel ready. Squeeze and release just those little toes. A few more times. Okay, now we're just going to do the big toe. So shift the ball over a little bit and press into that big toe. And then release. So this great toe really does have quite a bit of effect in our balance and even kind of how these fascial lines come up through the body and help us to stay upright. Press and then release. And exhale. Just do about a minute for each of these here. Keep going. You can always place the hands wherever feels good. If your wrists bother you, you can always turn them. So never force other parts of your body. Sometimes when I do this, I feel like I want to clench my jaw, clench the rest of my body, so try to relax other areas as we go through this together. And then release. Great job. All right, so curl in the top of the foot, maybe shake it loose a little bit, maybe even kick it out a little bit, and maybe even just stand for a moment and notice how that feels in your body. Notice right side from left side, that whole back line, how that feels for you here. You might even test it by coming up and taking a little inhale and then exhale, maybe sliding down and feeling into a forward bend for a moment, and just notice how the foot feels. Maybe lift up a little, maybe back down. Okay, and just finding your best place here. Feeling into that foot. My right foot feels much lighter and just kind of flatter even. Alright, whole right side, just seeing a little less tight. Let's come back up and walk it up if you like and reach up. And then come down. And let's do the other side. Alright, so we're going to take the ball. Once again, use anything you need for balance, and we're just going to step. Stepping into the ball and putting some pressure into it. And you may notice one side speaks differently to you than the other. So just take note. We're always kind of observing and being the witness to our practice and experience. And we can learn from it. It may change day to day, but you might also notice as you do this daily how it continues to show up for you. More breath, just kind of pressing. I'm going to do this first one for 2 minutes as we just kind of get into these areas, different areas of the foot, and feeling into areas that again might be a little tender or sore. When we walk, when we stand, a lot of us have compensation areas of the body where we'll lean on one side more than the other. We'll turn the foot in or turn the foot out. And this really does affect the rest of the body all the way up. So it's all connected. You can think of the connective tissue and fascia like spider webbing, and as you pull on one end, it affects the rest of the web. So try to start from these kind of insertion points and try to get into some of the trigger points of these fascial lines to help release tension. Okay, just one more breath as we prepare. And I just kind of take a walk around and okay, so now we're going to roll it back and forth a little bit. Just kind of feel into the center from the heel all the way up to the toes. Again, any support you need, you feel unbalanced, please make sure you support yourself. And tennis balls might slip out from underneath your feet. Sometimes you got to go catch them. I find that these balls, especially if I have a little blanket underneath, can really stay with me. Keep breathing. The inside of that foot, the outer edge. From here, going back and forth. So crossing center, that transverse arch goes right across the center. Go across the heel. Just keep breathing as you do this. Reset the ball at different places. Okay, now we're going to start to do the gripping with the little toes. So exhale, grip, letting the big toe hang off, and inhale, release. Keep going. Notice how this feels and where it shows up for you in your body. More here. And out. Last one before we switch. And then we're going to get over to that big toe, and now we're going to press with the big toe for a minute. Inhale and exhale. I really like these myofascial balls. At first you might start with a more softer ball, and then over time we start to work towards maybe a lacrosse ball. Some people like to do the harder version. But if you're really, really tight in the beginning, you might just need to spend more time. We don't want to beat ourselves up, but maybe taking a little more time to work through these tight areas of the body, help loosen other areas. Just a few more, pressing just with that big toe, and then release it. And exhale, press. And release. Great job. If you want to roll it again, you can, and otherwise we're done with that foot. You're going to press the top of that foot down and maybe even shake it out a moment. Feels so good. All right, so make sure you don't trip on your ball. You're careful to have it out of the way. And we're going to inhale, arms up. And exhale, let's slide down and just kind of notice and feel how that left leg feels now after that good work we just did. Inhale, come up a little. And exhale down. Releasing for a moment. Take a few breaths. Maybe bend your knees in and out. Shake your head, yes and no. Another breath here. That left foot feels a little more alive now. We inhale up and exhale down. Great job. All right, so the next one we're going to do, we're still using the single ball, and we're going for the glutes. We're going right for the good work today. So you might kind of get in and feel into circular motions and just kind of feel for areas that might feel more tight than others. We might hit right on that kind of glute attachment. And we're going to use the wall here. You can always use the floor, but I like to use the wall because then you can kind of move up and down. So I'm going to take the ball right against that glute attachment here, and I'm going to place it right against the wall. And right away you should feel into that a little bit where it's talking back to you. Okay? So what we're going to do, just a little bit here, is move up and down. Just small movements. Maybe starting with just 1 inch up and 1 inch down. Bend it into those knees. And breathing. Deep breaths in. Deep breaths out. Now we move a little right and left. Give it a minute up and down, a minute right and left. You can still kind of move up and down as you go right and left, so just feel into areas, again, that are speaking louder than others. You might even just press and hold if you kind of find a sweet spot and just breathe into that. Or you can continue to move dynamically. You might feel a little bit, I want to say better, but I know this kind of hurts so good, so hang in there with me. And breathe. Just another breath in and out. We're almost there on this side. You're doing great. Deep breath in and out. And then release. So we'll stretch that glute once again. We're going to do that forward bend and just kind of stretch it out. Maybe Move a little right and left this time. And then walk it back up. We're going to do the other side. So now we'll take the ball to the other side. Once again, right into the seat, okay, the side seat almost, and you can kind of feel forward. And again, once we hit against the wall or you sit on the floor and do this, you'll really kind of feel it talking back to you. So kind of place it there and then come against the wall once again. And let's take a minute, just kind of move it up and down. Okay, and again, starting perhaps just 1 inch up and down. And breathing. Maybe you go a little further than an inch, or even lean forward into this a little bit. Doing great. Almost ready to change it up. And now, let's move a little side to side. Just a little right and left. Take your time here, working into this. Deep breaths. You know, this is good work, so hang in there with me. Again, you might find a sweet spot and just hold it in that spot or continue to go dynamically side to side. These trigger points are supposed to talk back a little bit. It's a good sign we're doing it right. Okay, and when you're ready, release. Let's stretch that glute out again. Inhale, and exhale, just slide it down. Okay, the knees in and out. Anything that helps you. Let's move a little to the left and a little to the right. We stretch out that back line of the body. Get your head relaxed, your face and jaw relax. Let's come back up, nice and easy. All right, so first 2 down. Okay, the next ones we're going to do are going to be for the chest. Okay, we're going to do the pectoralis muscles right here. If you can get a corner of a wall, that'll work a little bit easier. And otherwise, you just kind of come up against a wall. I think I can use right the corner of my window here. It might be my best place today, just so you guys can see me well. And again, we're going to put it right in kind of that sore spot, that trigger point spot, right in the chest, right at the front of the shoulder. And if you just have a wall, you can always do that. You got to just kind of move your head out of the way or use the corner or something. And once again, we're pressing and we're holding and breathing. I'm watching our timing, so here we go. Inhale and exhale. Up and down a little. Breathing deeply into this, taking your time, and breathing slowly. Right here and feel the body talking back a little bit as we do this today. Just take your time and keep breathing. Nice deep inhale. Nice slow exhale. Okay, maybe a little right and left. These areas are some of the tightest areas in the whole body. So we just kind of work into this and taking our time here. Just another breath. One more breath in and out. And all the air here. Releasing. Okay, and just kind of move the shoulder a little bit and take a moment. And you might just even take a moment and take that shoulder and open it up on inhale and bring it down on exhale. Maybe even open out and bring it in. Let's just do one more, whether it's goalpost or nice and stretched out. Just do what feels good here. And then bring it down, shake it loose, roll it back a little bit, and then we're going to go right into the other side, okay? So let's take that ball, bring it over, place it right in, find that kind of sore spot, trigger point spot, and we're going to find a wall. So here we go. Leaning against the wall and breathing into this. And you might just press it first, just to kind of find balance. You might lean into it a little, and then perhaps move up a little bit, down a little bit. Just doing about a minute on this one. To get used to this, you can do it for longer periods of time, especially areas of your body that feel super tight. Maybe a little right and left. Feel into that for a moment. Take your time here and breathe. And we're there. All right. Again, just take a moment, release a little tension, do some shoulder rolls, and let's do a little one arm, gentle opening, inhale, exhale, maybe out to the side, inhale, exhale, one more, either version, whatever feels good to you, maybe do both, open out, great job, and some shoulder rolls, release some of that tension here, great job. Okay, next one we're going to do is the rhomboid. So rhomboid is right up here. If you feel into your neck and you feel this kind of mound right at the top, that's where I want the ball. And especially there's areas like where you would want a nice little massage, that's where we're going to put the ball. So once again, you might want to kind of find a corner like in a door and kind of lean into it. I'm going to do my best here against the wall, just kind of move my head out of the way today. And lean into that. And breathe. And I might even use, just to give different options, I might even use kind of the corner of the couch. There we go. That feels a little better. So coming onto the knees and pressing in. So again, if you're in a doorway standing, you kind of get a lunging position. You might even take that arm and open it out to the side of the doorway or the wall. I'm just going to kind of use my hand on the floor here. And we're breathing. This one, you may not want to move too much because it may slip out of the way, so just be conscious of that. And just use little movements and breathe. Feel some tightness there. Try to relax your face and jaw. Maybe a little ha breath. Remind you to relax that jaw here. Just a couple more breaths. We're almost there. Readjust the ball if needed and give as much pressure as you feel comfortable with today. And then we're going to release. Okay. Take a moment and just do some shoulder roll on that side. Even take the arm across and just back a couple times, in and out. Okay, and then again, roll it back. All right, we're going to do the other side. I'm going to come around to the other edge of the couch here. And again, if you're using the wall, just use the edge of a doorway. It can be very helpful. I'm going to switch knees just to make sure I balance that out a little bit, not too much pressure on the supporting leg. And there we go. We're looking right for that kind of sore spot in the mound right above the shoulder blade. And see if you can get it against kind of a flat area of a wall or into a surface like this, maybe your couch. And we're breathing. And small movements at most. Notice how that feels. If you have it against the wall, you want to take that arm across and just kind of feel different angles. Sliding that hand up and down the wall as you do this is okay. Otherwise, you can use it for support like I am here. If the wrists get too much, you can always use fist. Okay, just make small adjustments. And keep breathing. Okay, just about one more breath. Here it is. I'm just doing about a minute for these. You could always go longer, but we're just getting used to this a little bit. Okay, roll that right shoulder back. And again, perhaps kind of open it out and maybe close it over a few times. Moving that shoulder blade as we prepare for getting in between those shoulders. All right, and roll it back again. All right, the next one is for the lats. Okay, the lats, the point that we want is right here, kind of right behind the arm. And again, once we put the pressure in, you'll be able to feel kind of where those trigger points are, but if you just circle around, you might feel that a little bit. And this one, you can come right against the wall again. And so it's helpful if you can do what we call cow face arms and drop it down for yourself. Otherwise, maybe just place it right behind and start to feel into that. Okay, we're going to do this for a few moments, up and down. And for this one, if you can go sideways a little bit and reach the arm up. So this is kind of the action of those lat muscles, and this really will get us a little deeper into it. So if you can reach the arm up, it's available for your shoulder. Go ahead and do that for me. And breathe. Up and down, perhaps a little right and left. Last breath. And release. Good. And just kind of reach up and pull down. Roll it back. Okay. Other side. So once again, just if this is new for you, we're just getting used to it. We can start with just kind of making some circular motion in this area. And then you might even start with arm down and just kind of find those sweet spots. And then hold on to the ball, and if that's available, reach the arm straight up, okay? And we're going to breathe here. These self-massage techniques can be so powerful in helping you to improve range of motion, range of control, and help you in all the other movements that we do. Hopefully also take some tension and pain out of your body. You know, again, we've hit these trigger points and it seems like it's causing pain. Just don't force it, and remember you always have control over how hard you press, and time as we increase the density of the ball, but just getting used to this. Just another breath in and out. So good. And release it. Arm up. I'll do both is okay, and down. Squeeze it back and down, and then shoulder rolls for a moment. All right. Okay, great job. So we got into quite a bit of the upper shoulders, but I want to get right between those shoulder blades. So once again, being able to kind of reach back and place that ball right between shoulder blades is helpful. Okay, not all of us have this range of motion, but you can see how this ball is going to kind of hit right between those shoulder blades. So as you get against the wall, we're going to start with the right side, give that left side a break. And you can reach up, maybe grab it underneath, or just lean against the wall and place it there to the point where you can kind of be able to move it up and down. And here we go. Again, just 1 inch at a time. Go too low, we can bring it back up a little bit. And breathe. Okay, so you can come all the way up to almost to the top of the shoulder even. And you can also start to go down towards the bottom of that shoulder blade. So let's take some time in this one. Use any support you feel you need. Forward into it, back into it. I know when I get a massage, this tends to be some of the areas that are the tightest, and this one's so helpful for me. Feel those crossing muscles here. Just kind of work through these tight layers of tissue. Alright, just a minute for this one. I'm going to do some shoulder rolls. Maybe even bring it across, stretch it out a little bit. Back. Let's go to the other side. So we're going to take it, place it in, and right between that shoulder blade can be up and then all the way down. And we're going to start by leaning against that wall, placing it just about in the middle so you can have the ability to move up and down with it. Okay, here we go. Breathing deeply. And just keep adjusting till you find that sweet spot. You want to kind of make sure you press into the ball, commit to it so it doesn't fall out of the way. You might just do 1 minute at a time, 1 inch at a time. Notice which side is a little crunchier than the other. Just like we lean on one side versus the other, sometimes in our spine we tend to have different areas that are much tighter than others. Few more breaths. Here we go. Alright, slowly catch it, release it is okay. Okay. Alright, so we did quite a bit of work this morning, and the next piece is to get into the neck, and then I want to do the arms and the hands, and then that'll pretty much wrap us up. So I do want you to go ahead, if you have 2 balls, and put them in your sock or put them in the little bag that these balls come with. And I also recommend using a block. So I'm going to pull my mat back here. Get the ball inside the bag. And I'm going to take the block and place it down. And then we're going to take a seat. So make your way down onto the floor. Take the ball and place it right on top. Inhale, lift your heart a little. And then exhale, start to come down. So if you need a moment to just kind of hug your knees to chest, you can, and give a little squeeze and maybe even support your legs. But I just recommend having them bent and finding a way, whether knees are together or knees are neutral, somewhere in between, okay? So right away, you should feel this right at the base of your skull, at that occiput here at the top of the spine. We want to work some of these suboccipital muscles right at the base of the spine. And in yoga, a lot of times we overuse these muscles because maybe we're taking a class or we're looking up to see what's happening, or we're just doing motions, even in a forward bend, where we keep the neck upward. We really want to soften this area. So we're going to start by just moving the head up and down. Inhale and exhale. And once again, you might move it a little in different places where you're finding you're able to get your best feeling into this. So this is more of a active version where we're moving the head up and down. Inhale, exhale. This next one's going to be more of a passive approach. So you'll feel into this by pressing into your feet, and you press into the feet and then release the feet. So I'm not moving my head, I'm letting the head be relaxed, and I'm pushing into feet and then releasing the feet. And we're passively working into this in the neck. Letting the head be heavy, jaw relaxed. So here's the thing about the spine. You never want the ball right on the spine. That's why it's helpful to have the double ball with a little space in between. You don't want to put it on those facets in the back of the spine here. Okay. From here, we're going to move a little to the right. And you can almost feel like you're just moving the nose. So inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Keep going for a few more moments here. Adjust if it starts to slip out of your way. Relax the hand, face, and jaw. Now come back to center, and what we're going to do is these really small circles. So we're going to tilt the head to the right, tilt the nose, and then as if you're drawing circles clockwise to the right with the nose. And you're breathing. And then go counterclockwise. slow circles here. You adjust, come back to center, prepare, and then inhale, exhale, move to the left. And same thing here, we're going to make circles with the nose. Okay, one way, and the other way. You can go one direction just slowly, and then go the other way. Good breath in and out. And come back through center. And take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Just let the head melt for a moment. And then when you're ready, release the ball. Rest your head on the block. Hands to your belly and just take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And we'll stretch the legs out, lift the head, remove the block, and just stretch the whole body for a moment from fingers to toes. Inhale and exhale. Taking hands down, knees to chest. Give a little squeeze and release here, side to side. Move your head with you. Nice and easy. And come to center. Hold one knee in as you stretch the opposite leg out. Inhale. Exhale, switch. Inhale. Exhale, both knees. And then from here, let's just kind of hug the knees in and roll over to the side. Take a breath or two here. And then push yourself up slowly to a seat. So I'm happy to do these classes and continue to work with you guys on myofascial release over time. I think it's very helpful for releasing pain, stress, and strain in your mind and your body. And I will continue to do these on Wednesday mornings for the VB Strong Center at 8 a.m. So please pre-register for these classes if you have not already done so. Join me, and I look forward to doing smaller versions of this. I'd like to do at least maybe 30 or 40 minutes of myofascial release. And then we're going to do Yoga Nidra at the end. And I'm going to take this video and take the recording and add a Yoga Nidra to the end of it. So I'll send that to you guys when we finish. Thank you for joining me today. It's been my pleasure. I'm always happy to share this with you all. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.